making me crazy. Yeah!
It's a shameful thing, lost your head. A careless man who could wind up dead. You wear your sin like it's some kind of prize. Too many lies, too many lies. All these words are true, and I'll make you believe. Yeah, you fight for air and struggle just to breathe. And you wear your cowardice well, and I will see you riding straight to hell.
Too many lies. Too many lies. Hi, folks. This is your host, Scott, for the Wrestling's For Real podcast. Back with another edition. Well, Royal Rumble week is over, and we have our new Royal Rumble 2012 winner, Sheamus. That kind of came a little out of left field, but it's a good thing. I'm a little mad about Chris Jericho, but I'll take it. Jericho doesn't really need it, and it's good to get Sheamus back in the main event slot. He really could use the win. So, not a whole lot of news to go over right now. I think we're just going to get into the show. This one's coming out a little late, so I apologize for that one. You know, sometimes these things just happen. So, let's just find out how we got to the Royal Rumble.
We got no fear, no doubt, all in balls out. We're going out tonight to kick out every night, take anything we want, take everything inside. We go until the world stops turning while we burn it to the ground at night.
And Raw comes to you live this week from Phoenix, Arizona. And we kick off the show with a loaded segment. We start with WWE Champ CM Punk coming down to the ring to cut a promo. And he comes to the ring. He's cutting a promo on Dolph Ziggler and the Royal Rumble match coming up with the title defense with Laurinaitis as the ref. And, you know, he talks about how Ziggler is running around saying that he's beat CM Punk 3 times in the last month, and says, well, that's because he's beat me 3 times in the last month, but the whole time he's had all these wins have come because of interference from John Laurinaitis. And then he proceeds to go in detail on how John Laurinaitis is just a complete failure.
Now, I'm not going to bore you talking to you about Johnny's full job title. I will describe him in one word: failure. Johnny Laurinaitis was a failure as a wrestler. He's a failure as an executive. These are all facts, by the way. It's on Wikipedia. I checked it out. He's a failure as a human being. John Laurinaitis sucks at life.
Punk is the best. So he goes on to he basically calls out Laurinaitis, and he says that he wants Laurinaitis to come down to the ring and say to his face all the things that he was saying the week before. And he also says that, you know, he has an agenda, and he's looking to basically break both of Laurinaitis' arms before he can ref the match on Sunday and screw him. So he's calling out Laurinaitis, and instead, John Cena's music hits. And I'm thinking to myself, what the F is John Cena doing out here? And the fans are pissed. No one wants him out here. I'm thinking for a second that maybe they're going to try to rekindle this feud. But Cena comes down to the ring, and Punk asks, what are you doing? I asked for a company man named John, but I wanted John, no one gives a crap about me, Laurinaitis, not John the Boy Scout. Cena says he was sick of hearing Punk ramble. So that's what I thought for a second they were going to go at it, but not really. So Cena says he's out here for business and claims that any second John Laurinaitis will come to the ring and grant Zack Ryder his rematch for the U.S. title, considering after the fact last week they said that Ryder wasn't medically cleared to defend the title, that he lost. So this goes on for a couple minutes. Cena saying that he can just call out Laurinaitis and he'll come down to the ring. Finally, Laurinaitis does come out. And he proceeds to say that he's not apologetic for what he said last week. And tells him, that he's the boss. He calls the shots. And this is great. Punk the whole time is saying what, says he can't hear him properly, and we get this gem also from Punk.
Hang on a second. I can't hear a word you're saying. Maybe you would like to come down and get in the ring, and I might be able to hear you better.
Hey, Punk, let's get one thing straight.
No, come on,
I don't
come on,
work for
come
you,
on this
you
way,
work
come
for
on,
me.
come in the ring. I can't hear
I'm
you.
your boss. I won't listen to you.
I'm the boss. I won't listen to you. Laurinaitis has actually gotten pretty funny the last few weeks. I hate to say it, but I think he could end up being a long-lasting character on television. I know Vince doesn't really want to be on TV all that much anymore, and you need like an executive type in this role versus, say, having like a former wrestler as the GM. It gives it more credibility, the fact that Laurinaitis actually does work in the office, that he's in this power position. So anyway, he says he won't come down to the ring. He apologizes to Cena for Zack Ryder and says that, I'm going to make things right. Ryder is cleared to wrestle this week, so he's going to face Kane in a Falls Count Anywhere match. I promise that nothing bad is going to come of this. I promise you. And he says that in the Falls Count Anywhere match, Cena can't interfere, otherwise Ryder will never ever get another shot at the U.S. title. So, Laurinaitis also then makes an instant tag match. CM Punk and John Cena versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. So we immediately start the match, and this is just a funny little note. Punk wrestles like half the match in his warm-up shorts. It was pretty funny. He just eventually on the ring apron before he tags in, he takes them off, but it was just weird that he's in the ring wrestling in his shorts. So anyway, the finish for this match, Punk goes for the Macho Elbow. He's stopped by Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis gets up on the ring apron, distracts him, tells him that Ziggler's too close to the ropes or something. So Punk and Laurinaitis begin to argue, at which point Ziggler sneaks up with a quick roll-up, 1, 2, 3, for the win. Punk's pissed, right? He's livid. So he gets on the mic and challenges Laurinaitis for a match tonight. Says he wants to give him a gift. Says he wants to give him the shot to be the one thing he's always wanted to be for one night, and that's to be a WWE superstar. And the little smile and the glint of like happiness in Laurinaitis' eyes is hilarious. He's just like, yeah, WWE superstar. So he likes the sound of it, and he agrees to the match. So that's coming up later. And then we find out that tonight will be the return of Chris Jericho's highlight reel, and it's actually coming up next. So we come back from break, and in the ring is set up for Jericho's highlight reel interview segment. Jericho comes out, instant boos. Alright. I think it's Jerry Lawler says on commentary that, Jericho will be a part of the Royal Rumble match. Jericho the whole time. He's working the crowd again. He's telling the crowd, shh, shh, trying to get them to calm down, trying to get them to quiet down. He's got the mic in his hand. Looks like he might talk. Keeps, shh, shh, and he was just messing with him. He says, hold on. Jumps out of the ring, runs out back, comes back with the t-shirt gun. Hilarious. Gets the t-shirt loaded in the gun and keeps going from side to side of the ring, getting the fans to cheer. Never shoots the t-shirt off. It's great. Jericho then grabs the camera from the cameraman in the ring and starts shooting the crowd. He looks over, and this is hilarious. I hate Cole, but every now and again, there's something funny. Shoots the announce table, and Cole's, he's like doing a crowd shot, and you can see Cole waving both of his arms. It's freaking hilarious. So Jericho finally stops his nonsense, tells the crowd, shh, shh, gets them to quiet down, and Chris Jericho finally speaks.
This Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it's going to be the end of the world as you know it.
Jerry Lawler, is that it? It's hilarious. The crowd eats this up. And I eat it up. I marked out. Finally, he talked. It's not even a big deal, but it is. After weeks of this, I thought that he wasn't going to talk till after the Rumble. But, so, I'm thinking right here, oh, there it is. This is your 2012 Royal Rumble winner, Chris Jericho. More on that later. So, we come back from break, and we get a recap of the whole thing from a few months ago with Zack Ryder and Hugh Jackman, and how, Ryder had that underdog story, and coming up next is going to be the Falls Count Anywhere match. Later on, we're also going to have R-Truth versus The Miz. And next we get, this is one of my favorite pay-per-view promo commercials. We get the Royal Rumble commercial that, all about the numbers when they break it down from, how many people have won at certain numbers and who has the most eliminations and so forth. I like this little piece of work they show every year. And we go backstage, we find Zack Ryder, Eve, and Mick Foley just conversing, nothing too important. Foley's giving Zack Ryder advice on how to handle Kane because, he's fought Kane many times. He teamed with Kane, so he's giving him a little advice for the match. Eve's begging Zack Ryder not to take this match. Begging him, Zack, don't do it. And then here comes John Cena. I swear to God, the more and more I get more and more annoyed every time I see Cena on camera. It's not the friggin' John Cena show. I can't take it. I respect Cena. Outside of the ring, he's a great guy. He does a lot of charity work. That's enough, dude. It's really enough. Cena offers to help. Zack Ryder tells him, he's like, no thanks, bro. I don't need, stay out of it. Just stay out of it. So good for you, Zack. And so we go to the ring for our Falls Count Anywhere match. Standard Falls Count Anywhere match. Lots of use of the stairs as a weapon from Kane. The fight spills into the crowd, up the stage, and then we get Kane grabs Zack Ryder and he chokeslams him essentially through the stage, and it didn't look the greatest. It was all, gimmicked. It was better than the horrible loading dock incident, but anyway, Zack gets chokeslammed through the stage. Eve's freaking out. Kane immediately turns around and goes after Eve. This goes into the ring, and of course, here comes John Cena to save the day. Kane just leaves. He's seen him run into the ring, leaves through the crowd. This leaves EMTs and everything coming out. So we go to commercial. We come back from break. We hear the horrible news that Randy Orton will be returning on Smackdown this week. I'm not happy. We also get an ad for the Triple Threat cage match at the Rumble. And then we cut back live, and EMTs and trainers and refs are still working on getting Zack Ryder out of the hole in the stage. And I don't know how Cena gets movies, because if you saw this, you know what I'm talking about. I have in my notes, I write, what's Cena doing? He's like trying to look concerned or shocked or surprised, and he just has this weird kind of blank stare on his face, and he's just standing there. Shirtless, by the way, which I have been bitching about for weeks. So Cena's sitting there trying to show some sort of concern. Eve's freaking out. Oh, we get a rare Dean Malenko sighting, who's an agent in the back. He's out there checking on things. They finally get Zack stretchered out all the way in the back to the ambulance. So they put Ryder in the ambulance, and Eve Torres is pissed. She is pissed at Cena, and we get this.
Hang in there, bud. Zack, hang in there. I'm gonna take care of this, all right, bud? I'll handle it, Zack.
This is all your fault. Look, you've done enough. Okay? I'm going with Zack.
So a solid acting performance from Eve Torres. Eesh. So yeah, fair to say at this point, Cena, Zack Ryder doesn't need you to take care of anything. You're pretty much a menace upon his life. So Eve jumps in the ambulance. They take off. Cena looks sad. And instantly, out of nowhere, here comes Josh Matthews with a mic in Cena's face, asking him, John, you must feel terrible about this. You must feel awful. Cena doesn't say anything. He waits a minute, turns around, smacks the mic out of Josh Matthews' hand, and then just proceeds to look angry. And then he breaks the fourth wall and looks directly into the camera with the angry face. And I guess we're supposed to believe that Cena's beginning to embrace the hate. Stupid. Anyway, so we come back from break. And please, for the love of God, no more Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal. Why is this a match on every show every week? I don't understand. Isn't there someone else Sheamus can beat up? Does it have to be Jinder Mahal every match or every other match? It's crazy. Wade Barrett comes down to do some commentary. I like Wade on commentary. I like him a lot. And this goes back to what I was saying the other week, how I think that Sheamus and Wade Barrett would really make awesome, like, career-long rivals. And you can really see it brewing. I wonder if WWE is actually thinking that far ahead, because they don't really tend to do the long-term booking thing anymore. But maybe someone's got a good idea there. Maybe they should listen to this show. I got plenty of great ideas. Like I said, I'm not a booker. I'm just some asshole fan that likes to do a podcast and give my own opinions. But anyway, Barrett on commentary. Basic Mahal versus Sheamus match. Sheamus just kills him. Sheamus wins with the bro kick. As soon as the match is over, Barrett says, "Alright guys, thanks for your time." Starts to walk off. He mouths off to Sheamus a little bit. Sheamus invites him into the ring. Barrett acts like he's going to get in the ring. Of course, true to heel fashion, doesn't end up getting in the ring and just leaves. So we go backstage. Miz is cutting a promo on R-Truth in the Royal Rumble and how every friend of his he's destroyed and turned his back on, and their careers are all decimated because of him. And then this is, I don't care. Give R-Truth the title right now, please.
Because I am the #1 superstar in the entire WWE. I am the #1 most must-see superstar of all time. I am the #1. What do you want?
Good evening. My name is Eric Fleischer, WWE market researcher. And according to our data, Mr. Miz, you are #1. Research don't lie. It says here you are #1 annoying, #1 whining, #1 nincompoop, #1 WEIO. Oh, you don't know what that means? That means every time you're on TV, they're saying WEIO, as in what else is on. You see, you are, without any question, WWE #1 jackass. It's Fleischer!
I don't care what your name is.
Fleischer!
Sick of you! Telling you are nothing! You've never been nothing! Hey!
Truth is great. Stays totally in his little crazy character the whole time. It's Fleischer! It's Fleischer! How much you want to bet there's actually a guy in WWE marketing named Eric Fleischer, and that's where they got this from? And you got to get the visual too, because R-Truth walks up to him, you know, with his button-down shirt and glasses on with a clipboard that supposedly has all this information on it. It's just great. Anyway, so Laurinaitis breaks this whole thing up. Says, you know, he was in his office trying to concentrate and get ready for his match later on, and says, all right, you guys want to argue about who's #1? Tell you what, you guys can have a match, and the loser has to be #1 in the Royal Rumble. So, little added stip to this match later on. We find out next is going to be the Funkasaurus, and I hate to say it, he's kind of growing on me a little bit. I'm still not completely sold, but it's funny anyway. So we come back from break. William Regal sits on a little commentary. I love Regal. I said before, I wish he had the belt. Anyway, so we get Brodus Clay versus Heath Slater. And I'm asking myself, why in the blue hell is Heath Slater on Raw? I'm also asking if Heath Slater just finished a cycle of steroids, because he's looking a little bit bigger there. So, I guess all that one-man raping will put on the muscle, I suppose. This was funny. Brodus has a little trouble in his entrance getting his tearaway pants all the way off, and they get stuck to his leg. It was kind of cute, kind of funny. Anyway, this match goes a few seconds with the ski wash or the funk it crossbody, and I had a scary thought. What if Brodus Clay wins Money in the Bank this year? There's talk of it being at WrestleMania, and supposedly doing away with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view itself, which I really think they should do. Money in the Bank was an awesome attraction for WrestleMania. It was really missing in last year's show. And the whole concept pay-per-views, I could go on a rant for like an hour about this right now, but I won't. All I'm going to say is I miss not knowing when a Hell in a Cell match is going to come, or an Elimination Chamber. I don't want to know when a TLC match is coming. I want feuds to build up to these things. I don't want it to be like, okay, well, hey, it's September, next month is Hell in a Cell, so let's see who's going to have to go to Hell in a Cell. No. You have feuds, and guys hate each other, and they go to Hell in a Cell, and they bleed, and they look like they're going to die, and it makes it that much better. I'm just tired of it. And the Money in the Bank thing, last year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view overall was phenomenal, but it had a lot to do with being in Chicago and CM Punk going for the title and saying he was going to leave with it and everything. But as far as Money in the Bank as a concept, 2 briefcases at a time is too many. It's like having 2 Royal Rumbles. It takes away from it, and they just need to have one. Let's just get it back down to one. I like the idea of the year being from Mania to Mania, and then someone can cash it in at Mania, even though Daniel Bryan was supposed to, and things didn't really work out that way this year. But rumor has it, too, that if they're doing it, it might be all former world champions. So they might be taking a break from developing a new guy through the briefcase. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, that's my rant on the concept pay-per-views. We come back from break, and we get a Royal Rumble recap from 2007. This was an awesome Rumble. This is one of my favorite Royal Rumbles. This was pretty much the beginning of the later Shawn Michaels Undertaker feuds. They ended up the last 2 guys in the ring, and I really thought Michaels was going to win this one. I was two of my favorite guys too. Who do you root for? But Undertaker ended up winning this one, and I believe went on to face Batista for the world title, and I'm pretty sure Michaels went on to face Cena, and I'm so Michaels should have beat Cena at that Mania. So it pisses me off, and I'm biased. Why did Michaels not hold the belt more in the later part of his career? It boggles my mind. So anyway, now we have our R-Truth versus Miz match, and R-Truth comes to the ring wearing his brand new Little Jimmy shirt. I heard about this a while ago that Vince thought that he could market some Little Jimmy merchandise, and he has. And there's a little white kid on the shirt. It's kind of funny. The announcers barely talked about this match. They talked about anything but what was going on in the ring. They talked about the Royal Rumble and how long the King lasted in old Royal Rumble matches, and the Miz and his old tag partners, and just not a whole lot about what was going on in the ring. And they want to keep blaming guys for their ratings. They want to blame the talent. I think you can't blame what's going on in the ring on the ratings. You need to look to one guy on your talent roster, and he's your lead announcer, Michael Cole. The casual fan does not want to listen to him. Anyway, Truth wins with the Get God. I don't even know what he calls his move these days. The What's Up. He looks a little hurt leaving the ring. I don't know if it was his ribs or his wrist. He's holding something. He looks hurt, and he starts talking all crazy to himself on the way out. I love that they kept him crazy. So anyway, we cut to the announce table, and Jerry Lawler informs everyone that he just got word that already from the hospital, the official word is that Zack Ryder has a broken back. That was quick. Anyway, we go backstage to John Laurinaitis' office, where we find him getting ready. He's warming up for his match, and he's in like this ridiculous red boxing robe. It's hilarious. Dave Otunga comes in with a fax, says he just got a fax. Laurinaitis is reading it, looks concerned. And then we see Punk on his way to the ring with his, one of the only few guys to get a walking segment. You know you made it when you get a walking segment. And then we come back from break, and it's going to be our big CM Punk versus Johnny Ace match. Or John Laurinaitis. I always have Ace in my notes. It's easier. Michael Cole, again, he's trying to talk up Laurinaitis' career in Japan, how he's a former world champion. I think Laurinaitis was a tag champ. I don't think he ever held a world title. I looked it up. If someone knows different, please tell me. It says that Laurinaitis teamed with the likes of, Steve Williams and Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen. He says Henson. I'm wondering to myself, does Michael Cole even know who Stan Hansen is? I was a war correspondent! Anyway, alright, so Laurinaitis gets in the ring, grabs the mic, and says, I got this fax, and in the interest of fairness, it's uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to read it out loud and let everyone know what's going on. Otunga proceeds to read it. Basically, board of directors have said that Laurinaitis has been letting his personal issues get in the way of doing business. They're concerned, much like they were over Vince and over Triple H. And he's going to have an official job performance review done on Monday on Raw next week. And it will be done by COO Triple H. So, he starts to say basically what this means, and Punk cuts him off, and Punk's pissed off. Laurinaitis says how, he tries to do the best for the WWE Universe. I don't know why he can't say WWE Universe. It's WWE Universe. Anyway, Laurinaitis just says basically what this means is, he says, Punk, I was going to call your match straight down the middle the whole time. I only said those things because I was mad. You made fun of me. But he says, what this means is that this match isn't going to happen tonight, but he's got a suitable replacement, and that's going to be Dave Otunga. At which point, Otunga immediately jumps Punk. But Punk's quick to get Otunga in the Anaconda Vice. Gets up, goes after Laurinaitis. Otunga gets up. Punk spins around, kicks him in the gut, then hits him with a solid roundhouse kick to the temple. Knocks him down and out of the ring. Now Laurinaitis wants to be friends. Laurinaitis tries to go for a handshake with Punk. Punk goes in for the handshake and immediately picks him up for the GTS. And Laurinaitis looks awful. He's like bracing himself, and you know that he knows it's coming, and you can tell he hasn't taken a bump in like years. So he's getting ready. It looks terrible. GTS right in the jaw. Punk stands up to celebrate, and out of nowhere, Dolph Ziggler runs into the ring. Zigzag. Boom. And Ziggler is left standing tall at the end of Monday Night Raw before the Royal Rumble. And I just want to say this. It's good to see Raw end with the focus on the championship for a change. They need to put the emphasis on the titles again. They just need to. So that is your Raw. There was also a little show in Orlando, Florida this week. Impact comes to you, as always, from the ever-boring Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, with the same people in the crowd each and every week. They need to get out of that building. Anyway, you guys know I don't like to spend a whole lot of time on TNA, but I do cover it. So let's just try to move through this quickly. Alright, so we immediately start the show, and there is a fight out in the back lot. It's Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy. They're fighting. And Bobby Roode pulls up in his truck just in time to catch this fight. Jumps out. The two of them work over Jeff Hardy. They end up throwing Jeff Hardy in the truck bed in the back. In comes James Storm for the save. Starts brawling with the two Bully Ray and Bobby Roode. And look who just happened to be nearby is Sting. Sting comes by. Sting runs in with his baseball bat and helps fight off Bully Ray and Bobby Roode. So we get a nonsensical backlot brawl to start off our show. So we go inside the arena, and we're having a number one contenders knockouts match. Tara versus Mickie James versus Velvet Sky. Interesting choice with all faces. We start with handshakes, upon which on the final handshake between Tara and Velvet, Tara just kicks Velvet in the gut. I like that. Halfway through this match, I start thinking that Velvet's going to win it, because I'm thinking the Against All Odds pay-per-view poster, there's 5 people on it. And the only 2 women are Gail Kim and Velvet Sky. So I'm thinking that she might win this. However, finishing the match, Tara does this really weird, I don't know how, like from a fireman spinning sidewalk slam on top of Mickie James for the win. So Tara's your number 1 contender for the pay-per-view, I guess. We have another segment where, alright, Sting calls out all the guys that were brawling in the back earlier. Gets them to the ring. Says, you guys stay over there, you guys stay over there. He makes a tag team match for later tonight. It's going to be Jeff Hardy and James Storm versus Bobby Roode and Bully Ray. Long story short, James Storm wants a tables match. Sting makes it a tables match. We go to the back of the arena, and Alex Shelley is doing one of their little shaky reality camera segments where saying that he's ready to be back and he's ready for the X Division. Also up back, classic Eric Young. Eric Young does like a stage hand or something that has a weird like pushed in face, and he looks a little, anyway, Eric Young thinks this guy is Sammy Davis Jr. He looks a little bit like him, but there's obviously something wrong with this guy. It's hilarious. He's talking to the stagehand. Along come Angelina and Winter, and they proceed to say that they're easy. Okay. Anyway, they're trying to butter up Eric Young just so they can get the jump on him, and Angelina goes for a ball shot. Eric Young's wearing a cup. Angelina almost breaks her hand. It was kind of funny. He pulls the cup out. Winter and Angelina run off. ODB chases him off. She comes out to see Eric Young with the cup in his hand. She's like, oh, I was wondering who took that from my locker. So that's great. ODB wears a cup. Anyway, next segment. So Alex Shelley has to win 1 match against an opponent of Austin Aries choosing in order to get the title shot at the pay-per-view. Aries has chosen Zema Ion. This match was okay. The only notes I really have on it were there's one spot where Zema Ion's getting a beat down in the corner, and he starts yelling, cut the cameras, cut the cameras. He doesn't want the cameras on him while he's getting beat up. Zema misses the 450 splash. Alex Shelley hits sliced bread number 2 for the win and the title shot at the pay-per-view. In the back, we find AJ Styles, who's getting ready to come to the ring. He says that, the business hasn't changed him. Everyone else around him has changed. It changed Storm, it changed Bobby Roode, it changed Daniels, and now it changed Kazarian. And he still wants some answers on what's going on. We find Tara in the back. She's excited. She's celebrating. She's ready for her upcoming title match. And then we get this little piece. Oh man, I'm so done with. Why do I still watch TNA? Does anyone know how this company's still in business and why we all still watch it? Anyway, so we find that Eric Bischoff Eric Bischoff. There just happens to be a camera around for this too, by the way. Eric Bischoff goes to Garrett Bischoff's training facility. Says, oh, hey, Punk, let's see this trainer. Let's see this trainer. And off camera, Bischoff sees the trainer, who we all know is going to be Hulk Hogan. It's got to be. Bischoff sees the trainer, but we don't see him. And Bischoff loses it. He yells at the cameraman to get out of there. He's freaking out. It's got to be Hogan. It has to be. we come back and we get a great Eric Young and ODB versus Angelina and Winter tag match. And we get, you know, Eric Young's basic shenanigans, lockups. He's doing this sniff testing where he runs his hand up. He like runs his hand up Winter with the back of his fingers and smells them. And he does the same thing to the ref. He's doing this weird, gross sniff test. We got ODB goes for a Bronco Buster on Angelina in the corner. And the way she throws her right leg through the top and second rope. And it looks like she kicked Angelina right in the face. It was gross. Let's see. We get a double airplane spin from Eric Young and ODB. Followed by ODB's rolling slam and ODB for the win. And ODB, you could tell, she was laughing. She had a lot of fun in this match. I think she's settling into her new role in TNA after being gone for a while. In the back, Bully Ray tells Bobby Roode that, you know, what's going on with your tag partner? When did he row some balls? He goes, you know, you didn't keep him in check like I kept Devon in check all those years. And Bully, they're causing this rift between Bully Ray and Bobby Roode. I hope to God they're not going to put the title on Bully Ray. But anyway, Bully Ray says, you know, you're champ for now. And that kind of raises an eyebrow. They just, I don't know. Anyway, we come back. We have Samoa Joe versus Matt Morgan. Morgan wins with his spinning clothesline. Magnus attacks Crimson on the outside. And then we get a double team beatdown on Matt Morgan. And the champs are left laying. Good. Next segment, AJ Styles in the ring. He wants answers from Kazarian. And Daniels is still, you know, being the mouthpiece for Kazarian. He won't let Kazarian talk. He won't let Kazarian. He's calling the shots. We don't know why yet. And honestly, knowing TNA, they probably never will tell us. There probably will be no payoff in this nonsensical angle. Anyway, Daniel says, you know, I know how to finish this. I want a match. And that match is going to be AJ versus Kazarian at the pay-per-view. This is just like an awful piece of acting, and ends up with AJ just running the two of them off. So we go to our main event. It's our tables match. Jeff Hardy, James Storm versus Bobby Roode and Bully Ray. And this is gross. Before the start of the match, Bully Ray spits in the air, catches his own loogie. That's awesome. That's really classy on television. Bully Ray tries to put Jeff Hardy through an angled table in the corner, puts his foot through it. Hardy moves. The finish, Storm ends up, they lay Bobby Roode out on a table in the middle of the ring. Jeff Hardy's holding him down. James Storm elbows Bobby Roode through the table for the ring. Fight ensues at the end of the match. And Bully Ray ends up doing his Bubba Bomb through a table to Jeff Hardy. And the heel stand tall at the end of Impact. And I have as a note that I'm just so sick of this crowd. It's the same people all the time. And it does not help this next to unwatchable show. So that's TNA for this week. We still got a whole lot of show going on here. So let's just let's go to Smackdown.
Sacrifice.
Smackdown comes to you live on tape from Tucson, Arizona. We begin the show with a recap of the murder of AJ Lee. Then we go to the arena, and here comes the Big Show. Big Show gets in the ring to cut a promo, and he's really broken up about this whole thing with AJ, and he proceeds to tell the crowd that he's having a tough time, and he's really having trouble forgiving himself for what happened, and he just doesn't know. He doesn't know if he has the heart to go on with his career. And that's when Daniel Bryan's music hits, and this segment becomes interesting. Daniel Bryan gets in the ring and has a few awesome things to say. The show is saying how, my whole life I felt like I was a freak, and I thought I finally found a home in the WWE, and but he's all broken up, and Daniel Bryan tells him that he's just a monster, and he has this to say.
And I remember as a kid watching the WWE thinking it was a place for athletes, not genetic freaks. And before you even mention Andre the Giant, don't you dare. Don't you even dare, because you are no Andre the Giant. You claim you can't help being the way you are, that you can't do anything about it? Well, guess what? I can! Ooh. Wow! You're not a man, you're a monster! Hey, Big Show's hurt enough!
Who do you think you are? Huh? What happened to AJ was an accident, you arrogant little ass! What happens to you this Sunday won't be.
So, and what you couldn't hear was the whole time Daniel Bryan is poking Big Show in the chest and then slapping him in the face. Big Show is pissed, and Big Show throws Bryan in a corner, and that's where you hear him basically tell Bryan that he's going to kill him on Sunday. So now at this point, Mark Henry's music hits. Mark Henry comes out, and basically Mark Henry doesn't care. Mark Henry doesn't care about Big Show's hurt feelings. Mark Henry doesn't care about some 95-pound girl, rather. And he doesn't care about Daniel Bryan's Napoleon complex. Says that basically for everything Bryan's done, he's just going to tear his skin off. At this point, Teddy Long comes out before anything can happen. He makes a Big Show Mark Henry match for tonight. And during this, Daniel Bryan just slinks out of the ring. Little shit. I love it. So that's going to be your main event, is Big Show versus Mark Henry. I'm losing it today. I think doing the late show, and it's an extended show today too. We still have Rumble coverage. This is awesome. Anyway, we get a reminder that unfortunately the Viper returns tonight. And I'm thinking to myself, is this match really going to happen? Or are they going to save Orton as a somewhat surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble? Because I'm also, at this point, still very, very concerned that Orton might win this Rumble. So we come back from break, and it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Justin Gabriel. We get Cody Rhodes' talking headbox interview, which I said before, I wish they weren't doing these, but they are. This match was really quick. Gabriel pretty much gets one move off and loses to the Crossroads in pretty quick time. We go backstage, and I don't know if you guys have noticed yet that on my shows that I absolutely have to have a Santino Morello clip in here somewhere. It's pretty much mandatory. No show will be complete without some Santino. So we get Santino and Teddy Long in the back, and Santino's got a couple more ideas.
No, I was not.
But Teddy, though, as your assistant, I've now devised the perfect match. It's an extreme loser leaves town match, where the loser is forced to join a crew of monkeys, go in a spaceship, and blast off planet Earth.
What are you talking about? I'm not feeling nothing like that.
Well, what do you think, Toshiatsu? It's out of this world.
You think?
Well, the Quinky think that Toshiatsu's here because it allows me to introduce to you the future tag team championship team of Santoshi.
No. Yoshitino.
Santoshi.
No. Yoshitino.
It's Santoshi.
No. Yoshitino.
Santoshi.
Yoshitino.
So Yoshitatsu comes out of nowhere. Comes off of about a year of facing Tyson Kidd on NXT each week to appear in Smackdown. It's kind of strange. It's a cute little segment, but like I said, I have to have some Santino in here somewhere. I just got to do it. So in the middle of all this, Drew McIntyre comes in. Teddy Long wanted to see him. I guess Drew had asked for a match, and Teddy says, "Well, tonight you're gonna face Sheamus, playa." And you can see just like the horrified kind of look that he tries to hold back, and you can see it just kills him in the core of his soul that he has to go against Sheamus, and he's like, just goes, I love it, Teddy. It's great. I don't know how long they're gonna drag out this losing streak for, but they're obviously getting ready to do something big with Drew. Oh, maybe Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Who knows? So we come back from break. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Pretty quick match. Sheamus with the Brogue Kick. And you hear Booker T yells out, "Give this boy his pink slip." It's a funny comment there. So, I mean, is Drew on his way out? Is he not? Probably not. But we got yet another reminder that Randy Orton is coming back. I'm pissed. Then we get a CM Punk wants the title to be interesting again package. We come back from break. And we have our Santino and Yoshitatsu versus Primo and Epico tag team match. Non-title. We start off with a Rosa Spanish talking headbox interview. All in Spanish. Can't understand a word. Makes no sense. Just the only really great thing in this match is that they're talking about women managers, and we get a Sister Sherry reference from Booker T. That's great to hear that name thrown out. He just briefly mentions that, you know, Sensational Sherry, or Sister Sherry in this case, managed Harlem Heat to so many tag titles. It was a cool reference. Anyway, Epico with the backstabber on Santino for the win. We go backstage. We find Mark Henry's warming up for his match. Along comes Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan has decided to work both sides. He is trying to throw a little psychology into this match. He wants these two guys to destroy each other before Sunday. So he's trying to use a little psychology on Henry, and he has this to say.
So what's your point? My point is that this is the last opportunity before Sunday to right a very obvious wrong. Everybody knows you can pin Big Show. You've proven that.
Yeah, we know that.
But you need to hurt him. And badly. Listen, usually I wouldn't say that about a fellow competitor, but how many times has Big Show injured you, Mark? And countless other people, including my girlfriend. He's a menace. And for the good of every superstar in the WWE, somebody needs to teach him a valuable lesson. If anybody can teach him that lesson, Mark, it's the world's strongest man. Think about it.
He's a menace. That's great. Daniel Bryan as a heel is fantastic. And he's really only just begun. He really hasn't got a chance to totally shine yet. I'm just looking for more and more great things as time goes on from Daniel Bryan as a heel. So Bryan, pats Mark Henry on the shoulder, and Henry's like pissed. Doesn't do anything, but kind of gives him the look of, how dare you touch me. So Bryan's planting the seeds. He wants these guys to kill each other. Up next, Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. When we come back from break, Barrett comes down to the ring, grabs the mic, and he's motioning for the crowd to keep it down. He's got something to say. Barrett basically says, sorry to inform you, he says, Randy Orton's not coming back. He's hurt, he's not coming back. At which point, Orton's music hits, and on the Tron we see Orton is out back walking on his way into the arena. Orton comes into the arena, rushes the ring. The two of them fight in the aisle. The fight goes in and out of the ring. This is before they can even start the match. 4 refs come out. They try to break it up. Then you see on the stage, Teddy Long comes out, and he's waving from the back for help to come out. And who comes out but 3 jobbers? We have, for help to break up this melee, we get Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, and Trent Beretta. My silence was having nothing to say about these 3 gentlemen who, Teddy Long is waving like he's trying to empty the locker room when we get these 3 guys. It's hilarious. And I somehow, out of nowhere, the Usos came out. I didn't see them come out, but they end up in the ring. The fight breaks down. Barrett leaves. And now Orton's standing in the ring with these 5 guys. And who could see this coming? Here comes 5 RKOs to Hawkins, Rex, Trent Beretta, and the Usos for no good reason. I hate Randy Orton. So Orton's back. And he's going to be in the Rumble. I'm still scared shitless that he's going to win this thing at this point. We come back from break. We get another Royal Rumble recap from 2006 when Rey Mysterio entered number 2, went all the way and won the thing. This only weird thing about this is we get the this little look back package is the background music is the "Don't Try This at Home" music, which is a little odd. Anyway, Rey wins this Rumble and goes on to WrestleMania to beat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton in a triple threat for his first world title. We're backstage. Now Daniel Bryan is still trying to work his little psychology game. Daniel Bryan's talking to Caitlyn, who is best friend to his quote-unquote girlfriend, AJ. Daniel Bryan wants Caitlyn to go tell Big Show that Mark Henry's gonna hurt him. He says, come on, you'll be doing AJ a favor. She says, well, am I doing AJ a favor or am I doing you a favor? And he says, well, AJ loves me. So, you're doing both of us a favor. Caitlyn says she's going to go talk to Big Show. Then we go to the ring. We have another Ted DiBiase versus Hunico match. Why? Enough. DiBiase comes to the ring, and the word on the dirts was that DiBiase broke his wrist at a house show, and it turns out it's correct. He either fractured or tore something. I'm not really 100% on what the injury is. But he comes up. He's wrapped up pretty good on his, forearm and wrist. Hunico works the left arm for the whole match. You don't see a lot anymore. You don't see like limb targeting in matches anymore. Like the physical dissection, like Bret Hart or just guys in the 80s and 90s would always, work the knee or work the leg or whatever. So Hunico's just working the injury. I think if they should have left Hunico under the mask, they could have done something better with him because he's a decent wrestler. He just has a terrible gimmick right now. Anyway, this you don't see a lot, not too much else in this match. Hunico wins with an angle slam, which was pretty interesting. And then they proceed to throw him and his boy Camacho, throw DiBiase outside, and they get DiBiase's injured hand. They lay it out on the steps and they foot stomp it. They smash the thing, and DiBiase gets left lane, and the trainer has to come out and help him. I don't know if they needed to write DiBiase out for a few weeks or not, but it's totally possible here. And this. I've been waiting to get to this. I don't even know where to begin describing what happens in this segment. We're backstage for another Teddy Long and Oksana freak show segment. I'm just going to play the clip and we'll talk about it after.
2 weeks ago, I saw Tamina squash Natalia like a grape.
Oh, you thought that was funny? You enjoyed that? Well, I will beat that whack job and I will beat you too.
Whack job? Listen, what I do with Teddy in private...
Hey, Faye. Oksana, I know how bad you want to compete, so how about tonight? Natalia goes one-on-one with Oksana.
Great!
I think it's a great idea, and I cannot wait to make you cry.
I need to go check on Ted DiBiase.
Wait, Teddy.
Oh, it's in my mouth.
Oh my god. Okay, so about this. One side note. This is PG and we're talking about whack jobs. That's awesome. The main thing is, WWE, what are you doing with Natalia? You have one of, I guess, 2 legitimate wrestlers that you have on your whole Divas roster, and also someone with a built-in gimmick, doesn't need anything to get over. I read that Creative is doing this. This is going to be a continuing storyline where Natalia farts, I guess, and is embarrassed, and they're doing it, trying to get Natalia over. I don't know if they're trying to turn her face to face Beth because there's no one else, or what. Natalia is a member of the Hart family, one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious, wrestling family in the history of the business. And they're doing this to her. This is disgusting. If they did this with anyone, it would be disgusting. It's stupid. It's like John Cena toilet humor. Why are we doing this? Anyway, so Natalia supposedly rips ass, is embarrassed, runs out, and then you hear at the end Santino just comes in off camera and walks into it and almost throws up. It's great by Santino, but the whole segment should have been one of these ones that they taped and edited out and decided it was a horrible idea. But I guess it's going to be a running thing for a while. This just the sad state of creative affairs sometimes. It boggles my mind. But it's, again, I'm not the promoter. So we come back from break, and Alex Riley has teleported to the ring to face Brodus Clay. At the end of Brodus's, dancing entrance, well, during it, you actually see Riley's in the ring this time. Usually the guy's on the outside of the ring, but Riley's in the ring. He's in the corner behind this whole thing. He's kind of like trying to learn the dance in the background. So Riley's still playing face. And then before he can even lock up with Brodus, he wants to show him his moves. He's trying to dance. Brodus just grabs him. Ski wash. Less than 30 seconds. See you later, Alex Riley. So I don't. They need to start making Brodus a little more serious, I think. And how embarrassing for Alex Riley to have to do this. What happened to his push? Remember when we all thought he was going to be U.S. champ? Ha! Anyway, we come back from break. We get a commercial about John Cena being on Fruity's Pebble Box. We get a raw recap of the decimation of Zack Ryder, which includes the entire segment, including the match, which preceded the chokeslam. I'm thinking, why do we do this? Why does SmackDown have to have a huge Raw recap? Like last year, a half hour of SmackDown was the Raw recap. Terrible. So we go to the ring for our Natalya versus Oksana match. Oksana comes out to her theme music is gonna be the sexy sax music. Terrible. Oksana comes to the ring. And I timed this. She wins in 6 seconds with a roll-up. Beats Natalya in her first legit WWE match. This is horrible. Like I said before, what happened to the Divas of Doom? Why does Natalya job every week? This is ridiculous. Leave it to WWE to screw up a good storyline. Anyway, Natalya gets up. She's pissed. Oksana's celebrating. Natalya goes for the knee. She clips the knee. Grabs Oksana in the sharpshooter, which brings out Tamina for the save. Superfly, splash, whole deal. So this is going to be a long-running feud, I guess, with Tamina and Natalya. And then we get our Big Show entrance for tonight's main event. And on the way to the ring, Big Show stops and signs an autograph. And then he tries to give his hat to a little girl. And he goes to put it on her. She like gets scared and ducks down. And come to find out later, he says something and shakes his finger at the girl. And I guess what he said was, "I know who your daddy is." It turned out that it was Randy Orton's daughter, which is kind of cool. It was a cute moment anyway, but it's cool to hear that it was one of the guy's daughters. So Show signs an autograph, and Booker T's pissed. He's like, "Signing autographs on the radar ring. Come on, dog." Shucky ducky. Booker T's a little upset. I don't know why. Anyway, so we come back from break, and we're going to get our Big Show versus Mark Henry match. World Champion Daniel Bryan comes out to sit ringside and check out the competition before Sunday. This is your basic Mark Henry versus Big Show match. These two go at it for a little bit, and then only like a couple minutes in, they're trading punches in the ring, and Henry is coming back, gets a couple of punches in. He plants his leg wrong or something. He goes for a punch, plants his left leg, and his knee totally goes out. And you could tell that it wasn't like a storyline injury or anything. His knee buckles. He goes down. He's in pain. He just rolls out of the ring. They cut to commercial. We come back. And right as they fade back in, they're announcing Big Show won the match. I guess they had to do a count out because Henry got hurt. Tried to get back in and couldn't be in the ring. Henry's had that nagging groin or hamstring injury, and I guess they think that maybe his knees have been strained, overcompensating to take care of the other injury. So, anyway, Big Show wins by countout. Daniel Bryan runs in the ring with a steel chair and goes to attack the Big Show. Bryan does end up locking the LeBell lock on Big Show. It just amazes me that such a tiny guy can get this move on a big guy. Show's never going to tap out, but it just looks cool that he has him in it, and it looks believable. Big Show does end up fighting back. He gets up, choke slams the bejesus out of Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is like horrified, pushes himself out of the ring, and he slinks out. And that is your SmackDown with Big Show standing tall in the ring. So let's move on to what we all came here for. This is the big one. The road to WrestleMania has begun. It's the end of Royal Rumble week, and we go to St. Louis for the Royal Rumble. So here we are with the 25th anniversary of the Royal Rumble. One of my favorite events every year in the WWE and in professional wrestling. So we kick things off with our triple threat steel cage world title match. Daniel Bryan versus Big Show versus Mark Henry. The breakdown for this match, couple good spots. Early on, Big Show gets Mark Henry wedged between the cage and the ropes. He's like on the apron, but the thing is, Mark Henry's in the middle where the two sections meet, so there's the two like big pieces in the middle, the two poles, I guess, where the cage meets. So it's solid. Show does a couple of like cage splashes. So he's splashing Henry against the cage, against the hard metal part, and it looked really good. It looked sick, actually. Mark Henry gets knocked down early in the match, and it's obvious that he shouldn't really be in the ring. He's wearing a big brace on his thigh, finally, that he should have been wearing the whole time. So Henry gets knocked down, just I guess to buy time so he can last a little longer in the match. At one point, Daniel Bryan does get the label lock on Big Show. And you always, it's like suspension of disbelief. It just makes you wonder every time he locks it, and is the Big Show going to tap out in this move? Even though you know he's never going to tap out. So to get to the finish of this match, Mark Henry has Daniel Bryan up, going for the World's Strongest Slam. Big Show just over Daniel Bryan punches Mark Henry right in the face and knocks him out. Immediately, Daniel Bryan like screws to the corner, runs up to the top of the cage. He wants out. Big Show follows him and chases him. There's a little back and forth at the top of the cage, a little fight between Bryan and Big Show. Bryan keeps trying to go over. Show's pulling him back. Bryan actually manages to get over and starts to drop down. Big Show grabs him. He has him by the wrist. And Daniel Bryan tries to just drop. But Big Show, one-handed, pulls him back up like he's going to get him. But at the last second, he drops him. And Bryan drops to the floor. Wins the match, still world champion. This match, I usually don't do times for matches, but it's a pay-per-view, so I did it. This match, I have timed at 9:07. Kind of short for a world title match there, guys. You know, I'm just saying. Daniel Bryan begins his celebration screaming, "Yes! Yes!" And you know, he goes around the ring, he's celebrating, and the best part, he's doing this for like 3 or 4 minutes. Shows up at the top of the cage. He just like can't believe that the world title literally just slipped through his fingers. Can't believe he lost his match. Who knows when he's gonna get another shot. And the best part is Daniel Bryan on his way out. There's no stage. He just at the end of the aisle before the curtain, he drops down and he's just screaming, yes, 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 over and over again. It's awesome. I love Daniel Bryan as heel. It's great. So yeah, this match was okay. I'm not really gonna complain. What are you gonna do? Big Show and Mark Henry, especially with Mark Henry hurt. It was passable. So we get an Elimination Chamber commercial with Sheamus. It was pretty cool. A little Irish music in the background. He tells a little folk tale about the Elimination Chamber. And this is followed by a god-awful package on why you should love John Cena. It's a WrestleMania propaganda package. Getting ready for the main event with The Rock. But it's like, I don't know, a 3 or 4 minute package about Cena and how awesome I guess he is. Anyway, I definitely fast forwarded through this the second time I watched the Rumble to take my notes. I didn't take notes while I was watching. I just wanted to enjoy the pay-per-view. I went back and watched it a second time to get my detailed notes for the show. To give you guys the most complete coverage that I possibly can each and every week. So this gets followed by our obligatory surprise Divas match, because Beth was just coming back off her injury. I think this is really the first time we see her. So we get Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and the Bella Twins versus Kelly Kelly, Eve Torres, Alicia Fox, and Tamina. And I'm thinking it's going to be your typical 8 Diva tag match. I'm expecting 2 girls to start. I'm expecting 0 tags per usual, and expecting whoever started the match to get the win. But this actually, I have this match timed at 5:28, which is, when's the last time they gave 5 minutes to a Divas match? And because it was 5.5 minutes, it seemed like it went on forever. Not that it just seemed like a really long match, because they don't give that amount of time to the Divas. There was actually one pretty good spot in this match. You had all the Divas. The match broke down. You had all the girls fighting on the outside of the ring, on the floor. Kelly Kelly climbs to the top rope, to the turnbuckle, does a flying crossbody splash to the outside, knocks down all the girls, all the Divas. And Booker T says, "Oh, we got a Donnybrook." It was pretty funny. Let's see. So the match ends up going back in the ring. One of the Bellas slides in with Kelly. Beth is back up in the apron. She slap tags the shit out of whatever Bella this is on the shoulder. It hard. It was crazy. Tells her, "Get out of my ring." Comes in and just decimates Kelly Kelly with the Glam Slam within a couple of seconds. So Beth wins on her return. And you can see, the side of her face still looks messed up from that awful spinning leg drop that Alicia did to her last month. So, I don't know. When's the last time Beth defended this? It's been 2 months since the Divas title was defended. Whatever happened to the 30-day rule? Who knows? So that's your Divas match. We get a Kane, Cena, Zack Ryder recap package. And then, this is great. So we go into the back of the arena, and here comes Zack Ryder being wheeled in. He's in a wheelchair, and he's got this awful looking back brace. He's supposed to have a broken back. So they put him in this ridiculous brace that looks like it's not protecting it. It doesn't look like something you'd be wearing if you really did have a broken back. Eve comes in. She's right from her match, and John Laurinaitis is there to meet Zack, and he's trying to say, listen, I'm sorry about what happened. I got your own private dressing room. Anything you need, you let me know. I'm here for you. He's just trying to make up for the fact that he got decimated by Kane, and it's pretty much Laurinaitis' fault for putting him in the match. So Eve is pissed. She's like, "I think you've done enough." She calls him vindictive, pompous, and insidious. Why are they trying to make her sound extra smart? She's a hooker. Zach doesn't need to be in a romance angle. And doesn't need to be with that prostitute Eve Torres. I'm surprised she remembered how to pronounce that word. That was pretty funny. So anyway, Zach has his little private dressing room for the night. And this is followed by our big John Cena versus Kane match. Cena comes out, big time boos from the crowd in St. Louis for Cena. Not fans. Anyway, so some notes about this match. To begin this match, for whatever reason, I just happened to look at the ref and I noticed Mike Chioda's getting old. He's starting to look a little rough. And then I also noticed, okay, this whole night, spray tans are totally out of control. Justin Roberts, his face, it's either his spray tan or his TV makeup. It's horrible. He's a dark guy anyway, but it just looks... Oh, I'm getting like chills thinking about it. It's just terrible. This match is not a classic as one would expect. It's pretty much just a fight. At one point, Kane goes for that suffocator move, and the ref allows it. He only gets it on for a second, but why is the ref allowing a smother, like a suffocate? It's like a chokehold. Why? You can't stop someone from breathing. So it's a little ridiculous. They allow the suffocator. Cena goes for his moves of doom, but he's stopped a couple moves. Kane stops him a couple moves in. At one point, Cena climbs up to the top rope. And what he's doing up top, I have no idea. While he's waiting to make his move, he's booed. The crowd is pissed that he's just even in the building. Never mind on the top turnbuckle. Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle from the top, which the King calls the "you can't see me." Ridiculous. Know your product, guys. Come on. Anyway, this match, the fight spills out on the floor, and this match ends in a double countout, and I am bullshit. This is like a TNA ending. No pay. I guess they want to extend the feud a little bit. Come on, double countout at a pay-per-view. Couldn't we have found some other way to keep this going? The two continue to fight through the curtain backstage. And, Cena gets laid out. And then we see the convenient placement of Zack Ryder's dressing room, which is right through the curtain when you walk out back. Kane proceeds to kick in the door. Ryder tries to fight back, tries to kick him a little bit from his wheelchair. He's supposed to have a broken back. Oh, God. Kane gets Ryder with the suffocator, which apparently knocks someone out after 3 seconds, because that's about how long he had it on Ryder for. So now Ryder's supposed to be knocked out, and this is more terrible acting. The best is, so Ryder's knocked out. Kane proceeds to, he's going to wheel Ryder out back out to the arena. There's 3 guys that walk by in the corridor that don't help. You get a guy in a wheelchair who's about to be destroyed. They don't help. They just go, oh God, and they like get out of the way. Hilarious. Kane dumps Zack Ryder out of the wheelchair, throws him in the ring. At which point, Eve rolls in to try to make the save, begging Kane not to do it. Kane tombstones Zack Ryder anyway. At this point, Cena has gotten back out. Cena runs back out to make the save on Eve. The crowd boos Cena. Cena comes in for the save. And he gets booed. It's hilarious. Kane grabs Cena, choke slams him. Kane gets cheered for this. The trainers come out. Kane leaves. The trainers come out to tend to Zack Ryder. And I'm asking myself, why was this match and whole segment given more time than the world title? I don't care that John Cena's in it. We're talking, a championship versus a non-championship. I have the match timed at 10:55, but the rest of the I think this went like a good 20 minutes, this whole thing. So, obviously this feud's going to continue. We get a package on why you should love The Rock leading into WrestleMania. So, there's that. And then, for no good reason, we get Brodus Clay versus Drew McIntyre match. Bonus. Like, what? I don't know why. Why have this match? Why does this match take place? I thought that you find out why I'm so pissed later. Neither one of these guys are in the Royal Rumble match. It makes no sense. Especially Brodus Clay. I don't know why they didn't put him in there. So, Brodus's dances are out in their horrible red mesh outfits. They're just terrible. This is great. During Brodus's entrance, Drew's on the floor watching this whole thing, and he says, "This is a disgrace. This is a tragedy. He's mocking my business." This is just great. Drew's actually getting better with his character. Brodus is wearing his new singlet, and it says Funkasaurus on the back, and it's kind of in the old Jurassic Park logo. It looks pretty cool, but only other note I have is jiggly thighs. Just Brodus and his jiggly thighs. It's disgusting. And his gross package. Anyway, this match goes 105. Clay goes over. We get so this is a commercial about how Slim Jim donates for every so many Slim Jims you buy, they donate so many to National Guard or to the military. But it's got Mysterio in it. I just every time. Why do I hate Mysterio so much? He's awesome in the ring. I just hate him. I have since I think that WCW took his mask from him. So anyway, we move along, and now is our WWE title match. CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler with John Laurinaitis as a special referee. Laurinaitis comes out, and he's in a sleeveless ref shirt, and he looks terrible. And I heard that this might have been a rib from Vince McMahon, because I was even thinking that it looked like one of Vince's old ref shirts. This might have been a rib from Vince, because Laurinaitis has skinny arms. I don't know why they made him do it, but anyway. Laurinaitis comes out, and of course we know at this point he's concerned about his upcoming job performance review, and he says that in the interest of having a good match and being fair, he's gonna observe the officiating from outside the ring, and he puts a regular ref in the match in the ring. Punk makes his entrance, and this was kind of funny. He goes to do his it's clobbering time, and before he even says it, he looks down and he looks over to him and goes, "What time is it? It's clobber time." That was a funny moment. Immediately, Laurinaitis ejects Vicky Guerrero from ringside, which she wasn't supposed to be at ringside anyway, per stipulation of the match from a few weeks ago. This is great. This is actual continuity here, which is rare. Booker T is all upset at John Laurinaitis in general, and Cole asked Booker what's your issue with John Laurinaitis? Did you have a problem with him back in WCW? That's pretty funny. So some notes on this. We get a nice suicide dive early on from Punk to the outside. At one point, Punk climbs up to the top, and Ziggler just swipes his feet out from under him, and he takes a nasty bump on the top of the turnbuckles, right in his back. At one point, this was a good match. I just wish that Laurinaitis wasn't involved. It took away from it a little bit, and I wish they had gotten some more time. Ziggler goes for the Famouser, which Punk catches him turns it into a spinning power bomb. I miss power bombs. You don't really see power bombs that much anymore. There's a ref bump. The ref gets knocked out of the ring, and instead of Laurinaitis rolling into the ring to take over, he's just tending to the ref. While this is going on, Punk puts Ziggler in the Anaconda Vice, and Ziggler's tapping. He's tapping forever, and Laurinaitis just has his back to the ring. He's checking on the ref. Punk's pissed. He comes over, he's like, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm checking on the ref." Ziggler sneaks up, goes for a roll-up. Punk reverses it. Got Ziggler pinned for like at least a 4 count. Laurinaitis is still outside the ring checking on the ref. Punk's pissed. Now Laurinaitis is in the ring now too, and Punk picks up Ziggler for the GTS, spins him around, and Ziggler's legs hit Laurinaitis and knocks him down a little bit. Laurinaitis rolls back out of the ring. Laurinaitis is pissed now. Says Punk did it on purpose, and they're arguing. Punk goes for another GTS, and as he throws him up to do the knee smash in the face, he throws up Ziggler. Ziggler turns this into a famous. This was a beautiful spot. Ziggler's so good. He's gonna be an awesome champ someday. The finish, Punk has to go again. He has to go for like 2 GTSs in a row because of Laurinaitis arguing and the ref being distracted. And finally, Punk hits the GTS on Ziggler. The ref goes down to count, and this is weird because Laurinaitis now slides in and finishes the count with the ref. Punk wins. So this is probably not the end of this whole CM Punk, John Laurinaitis feud. I don't know whether or not it's actually going to lead to a match of the two of them or not. It is the rumor. But, I mean, we'll see what happens there. I have this match at 14:54. I think it could have been given some more time. For example, we didn't need to spend 5 minutes on Brodus Clay versus Drew McIntyre. But that's me. We then get a commercial for WWE's revamping their YouTube channel, and they're gonna add 9 little mini shows, and we'll see how that one goes. So now here we are at the big one, the one we've all been waiting for, the Royal Rumble match. So I mean, I'm not gonna run down every single entrant and every single elimination. We will just be here forever doing this. Gonna try to go through just the highlights. This match, this wasn't the best Rumble match ever. It wasn't the worst. I think some of the booking was poor. You know, I think some of the feuds going on in the company were booked too close together as entrants. I mean, you had... Alright. Miz, number 1. We already knew that. Number 2 is Alex Riley. That's an old feud. That was fine. But then Riley's out very quick. Number 3 is R-Truth with Miz in the ring. Before this even starts, Miz cuts a promo on how he's gonna win the match and how he's awesome and blah 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 blah. So anyway, speaking of spray tans, Miz's spray tan is so terrible on this night that every time he hits the mat, it's coming off of his body, and there's like orange stains all over the ring from Miz's disgusting spray tan. So Miz 1, Alex Riley 2, Truth's in at 3. Cody Rhodes is in, Justin Gabriel's in right after him. That's what I'm talking about, like the feuds being too close together. There wasn't a whole lot of surprises in this match. As far as, so I mean, Mick Foley comes in at number 7. We knew he was gonna be in, but it's still big. Foley hasn't been in a Rumble in forever. He looked bad though. He runs to the ring. He shouldn't have run. The man can barely run. He's beaten up and he needs to lose some weight. This is great. Number 8, Alberto Del Rio's music hits. This was awesome. Everyone's thinking, oh my God, Del Rio made it back from his injury, but no. Pulls in this shitbox car, pulls into the arena, honking the horn. It's like, I don't even know what it was. It was one of the old like convertible kind of shitbox cars with the headlights that flip up. One of the lights wasn't flipped up. It's pretty much all primer. There's a trash bag for one of the rear windows. The thing is just scratched up and paint chipped off of it and duct tape holding the mirrors on. It was hilarious. And out jumps Ricardo Rodriguez in these disgusting little white trunks. They looked nasty. It looked like he was wearing like nylons too. It was kind of funny. But he's got like Del Rio's scarf and he's doing the whole thing and he gets in the ring and it's kind of like a standoff. And instead of getting into it with the faces, Ricardo attacks Cody Rhodes. He's trying to get on the good side of Mick Foley and whoever else is in there. Goes at it with them for a little while. Let's see, we also... Ricardo doesn't last very long, unfortunately for him. We got a showdown, long-awaited showdown between Mr. Sacco and the Cobra. Santino and Mick Foley at one point are in the ring by themselves. A couple of the heels are not eliminated, but they have rolled under the ring and are hurt or knocked out, or they just haven't made it back in the ring yet. And these two go face to face and go to lock up, and they both scramble to get, the Cobra sleeve out of Santino's tights, and Mick goes into his pants for the sock, and the Cobra and the sock end up locking up, and it's pretty foolish. It was funny, but it was kind of dumb. Thankfully, Miz and Cody Rhodes roll back in the ring to end this nonsense. And okay, here's another surprise. Number 12, Jerry Lawler. I had a feeling this might happen with the King being at ringside. So the King is in the Rumble, up from the announce table, and it's funny. Booker's like, "Oh, come on, dog! You didn't tell me you was in the Rumble, shucky shucky." King goes in. King, I think, wasn't even in the match for like a minute. He was out pretty quick. What else? Next surprise. Number 15, the Great Khali returns. Why? Jinder Mahal is in the ring at this point, and he just looks mortified that that Great Khali is back. I don't know. His contract was up a while ago, and I heard he was going to keep a good relationship with him, and he may be back. I hope he's not going to be back on a long-term basis. I'm not ready for more Khali. Next surprise, number 17. Booker T's music hits. Booker T from the announce table. And this is great because Booker T gets up and he's got no pants on. His knee pads, his boots, and Michael Cole was like, "Oh, you're in it now? I didn't know. How did you not know? This man was sitting next to you pantsless all night." Takes off. And Cole just didn't notice. Booker takes the rest of his suit off, rolls in the ring. Booker was in there for a little while. There's a really cool spot. Kofi kind of gets thrown over the top, but doesn't. He lands like on his hands, and his legs are still touching the ring. Somebody pushes Kofi's feet through the ropes to eliminate him. Kofi goes straight up into a handstand and walks himself. Walks on his hands towards the stairs and throws his feet on the stairs and ends up staying in. It was an awesome spot. It was like reminiscent of last year's spot with John Morrison, but I guess Morrison's not around, so someone has to do the cool spots. It was like one of the best things ever that I've ever seen in the Rumble. Next surprise, number 19, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, winner of the first Royal Rumble 25 years ago. Duggan comes out to a pretty good pop. We get a USA chant. Let's see. Oh, Booker T goes out hard. Someone tosses out Booker T and the Great Khali, and Khali comes down on Booker's head. Looked pretty nasty. And then we're counting down. As this elimination's taking place, we're counting down to number 20, and Michael Cole stopped saying, "Oh, who's it gonna be? Who's 20? I get a feeling. I get a feeling." And it's Michael Cole. I was worried they were gonna do this. Why does Cole need to take up a spot for somebody in the like? Why couldn't Brodus Clay be in the Rumble? Why couldn't Drew be in the Royal Rumble? You had to put friggin' Michael Cole. Like, this is completely ridiculous. So Cole gets up, rips all the buttons on his shirt, gets in the ring. Book is horrified. Cole goes in. Cole doesn't last very long either. Because immediately after this, we have another surprise. At number 21, Karma's music hits. And pretty much everyone stops. Cole looks horrified. Karma comes down. She looks good too, I guess. Karma just had the baby December 31st, and she's trying to get back in her ring shape. I don't know if she'll be back in time for Mania. This seems like this was the way to get her back on TV. She doesn't have to wrestle full time yet. She could go back to just doing what she was doing and coming out and crushing people. She'll only be, a few seconds spot at a time, and then maybe she'll be good to go for a match with Beth at Mania. But anyway, so Karma comes in, huge pop from the fans. Fans definitely have not forgotten her. Cole jumps over the top rope to get away from her. To which King, this is great. The King and Booker say, "Come on, man," and they go up and they both grab one of Cole's feet to eliminate him from the Royal Rumble. Pretty cool. Karma doesn't last very long. She goes at it with Dolph Ziggler for a minute. Dolph ends up dumping her out. But like I said, she just had a kid. She really can't be in the ring for very long. She's got to, stay healthy. She needs to get back in shape and take care of herself. Next surprise, number 23, Road Dogg makes his return. We all know that he's working as an agent for WWE, and good for Road Dogg for getting a job with the company again. I've said it before, I would like to see maybe him and Billy Gunn do another run as the New Age Outlaws, but who knows. He looked pretty good too. He did his whole little routine with the dancing and jiving with the punches, and he actually got it. "You still got it" chant from the crowd, so that had to make him feel good. Another note I have here is that Jay Uso's in the Rumble, but not his brother. His brother comes out in regular clothes. I don't why was only one of the Usos in this Rumble. Doesn't really make sense to me. Wade Barrett comes out at number 26 with a terrible new entrance theme. At one point, Michael Cole, they're just saying how they can't believe Cole was in the Rumble, and Cole says, "Oh, it was the 25th anniversary. They needed all the stars." Terrible. All right, so at number 28, here comes Randy Orton. And I get very nervous because I think I had not really thought about Orton at this point. So I get real nervous because they're in Orton's hometown, and I'm really scared that he's going to win this Rumble. Because I do not want Orton fighting for a title at WrestleMania. Screw him. I think Orton is going to end up... I think he's still going to be busy with Wade Barrett by the time Mania comes around. Number 29, Chris Jericho, complete with full lights-out entrance and blinking jacket. Hilarious. So now we're down to one more guy, number 30. You think that maybe it would be someone cool, it would be a surprise. And no, it's the Big Show. And everyone's disappointed. Because there's no more entrance. So Big Show's in. We actually get down to the Final Four. Orton's in the Final Four, and I am freaking out because I don't want him I don't want him to win. Jericho actually, per my prediction, eliminates Randy Orton. And I guess that's going to be his revenge, his comeuppance for the punt to the head that put him out for the last year and a half or whatever it was. So now, around the 47-minute mark in the Rumble, and I marked this as important because of how long they let the last two guys go at it for. At 47 minutes, we get down to our final two guys, Chris Jericho and Sheamus. Now, these two guys, I have the Rumble timed at 54:58, so just under 55 minutes. So they let these two guys go at it one-on-one for quite a while. And this was a really good back and forth between Sheamus and Jericho. I'm thinking, of course, Jericho is definitely going to win this at this point. Couple of really, really good spots. Sheamus goes for the high cross outside the ring to throw Jericho out of the ring. Doesn't get it. Jericho goes for... Jericho ends up clotheslining Sheamus over the top. Sheamus lands on the apron, goes to get up. Jericho goes for his second turnbuckle springboard drop kick to the outside. Hits him, but he doesn't go out. Jericho and Sheamus end up battling on top of one of the turnbuckles. And they both fall off the turnbuckle and hit the apron at the same time. And everyone just gasps because you think that, maybe these two guys were both going to get eliminated at the same time. Jericho gets thrown over at one point, does a Shawn Michaels dangle with the feet almost touching the floor, gets back in, and here's the finish. Jericho runs at Sheamus, goes for the code breaker. Sheamus catches him, throws him over the top, but Jericho doesn't go all the way out. Sheamus, you can just feel it. He's gonna wind up for the road kick, and I'm thinking this, no way Jericho's gonna lose this. But sure enough, Sheamus fires up with the road kick for the win. Sheamus, your 2012 Royal Rumble winner, headed to WrestleMania, and I predicted a while ago that somehow we were gonna get our WrestleMania match from last year that got bumped, our Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, that we were robbed of. I was pissed when we didn't get that match. So, this is a really good rub for Sheamus. I would have liked to see Jericho win it, but like I said at the beginning of the show, Jericho doesn't need it at this stage in his career. It's better for a younger guy like Sheamus to win this. It's really gonna boost his career. He's gonna get a WrestleMania main event out of it, and he deserves it. Sheamus works hard all year. You always hear that he shows up to every show that he doesn't have to be at. He's just always there. He wants to work, and he's really taken in as much of the business as he can, and it shows in the ring. It shows in his work. He deserves it. So good for Sheamus. So that's it. And the only sad thing is that now we gotta wait a whole nother year for a Royal Rumble match. But that's what makes it special. That's what I was saying before about having two briefcases, or knowing when the certain specialty matches are coming around. Plus there's multiple ones, and it just takes away from it. So we gotta wait another year for the Royal Rumble, but such is life. So anyway, that's our show for this week. Sheamus is going to Mania, and I'm going to Mania. Me and my lovely wife, who is gracious enough to deal with 3 days of non-stop wrestling, which is going to be fantastic in Miami. So, yeah, that's our show, guys. If you want to check us out, the website's still under construction, so let's not even go there. But for now, We have Facebook, facebook.com/wrestlingsforreal with the number 4. Also, YouTube, Wrestling's For Real. That's where the show is posted. I post on Facebook too, but it's on YouTube for now until I figure out iTunes. That's going to be when the site is done, I think. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, @Wrestling'sForReal. So, this one came out late. I apologize again to anyone who was waiting for a show, and I'm talking to you, Aussie Greg. So, thanks for your continued support, and yeah, y'all have a good week, and I'll probably have my next show up in a couple of days. So, till then, take care, guys.
It's a shameful thing, you've lost your head. A careless man who could wind up dead. You wear your sin like it's some kind of prize. Too many lies, too many lies. All these words are true, and I'll make you believe. Yeah, you fight for air and struggle just to breathe. And you wear your cowardice well, and I will see you riding straight to hell. We're all equal no matter what you think. I'll prove to you I can have my mix.
Opponent today at 128 pounds from Malibu, California. The California
Hey, the bad guys are really stuck. My fire rhythms, they're messing up. They have no manners, they're really rude. They get on my case for sure, dude.
By now, Gene Okerlund with Ravishing Rick Rude and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Gentlemen, as you know, the Ultimate Warrior. Fuck it.
I don't know what happened to that Gene Okerlund back there, but somebody's chasing him down. I like that. It's about time that bald-headed old man got somebody to interrupt him and cause him trouble. All he does is cause trouble himself.